Still in Kenya, Kenya's Monetary Policy Committee met on Wednesday and decided to hold their benchmark interest rate at 7%. The MPC considered the implications and outcomes of the measures implemented to mitigate the adverse economic effects and financial disruptions from the pandemic. Meanwhile, headline inflation in Kenya, 6.3% in June, 5.9% in May. The increase is largely due to food, fuel prices. All right, joining us to discuss further, as well as an equities outlook for Nigeria's Vwede Edah, analyst with Afrinvest Securities Limited. Vwede, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What do you make of the MPC decision over in the largest economy in Eastern Africa?
Okay, so it came as no surprise. The MPC Monetary Policy Committee decided to maintain status quo in the 9th consecutive MPC meeting. Also, in the summary, they cited events as the fact that they've been able to, maintain their COVID protocols, and they've also gotten, funding about 130 million to store vaccines and also maintain what they have, basically. So the outlook is very positive in terms of the post-pandemic. However, they also cited inflation. Inflation rose to like 6.3% from 5.7% in May, 6.3% in June, and mostly on the back of rising food prices, rising fuel prices, which is not a surprise due to the global trend in oil prices. So they are set to meet in September 2021, and if things kind of maintain the trajectory, we still expect yet another maintenance of status quo. And but largely, the economy has been doing okay. In first half of 2021, they were able to meet up with their growth targets, and the IMF projected like a 4.5% growth for the Kenyan economy, which they are well on track to meet, especially given the positive news we've been hearing for their economy.
Yeah, what do you make of the Kenyan economy? Because currency, was it 108? I mean, their exports and so on and so forth. It looks like they're...
So, I mean, the economy, they've been able to really diversify their economy and, attract a lot of dynamic investments. So in terms of their exchange rate now, since 1993, they've been able to maintain a free float from the floating peg that they had prior to that. And currently, their exchange rate is about 108.6 Kenyan shillings to a dollar. They've been able to maintain an attractive environment to attract foreign direct investments. And, it comes as no surprise that they've been able to meet up with their growth targets and are just working actively to keep up the momentum post-pandemic. So I feel is positive. The Kenyan economy is, the actions on the Kenyan economy is quite positive.
Great stuff. What do you make of the deal that they signed with the UK?
Okay, yeah, like I said, they've really positioned their economy to be attractive to foreign investments. But as it is with any, foreign investment of this sort, it's very good news for Kenya. It will definitely create new opportunities, increase, jobs, increase in jobs in the Kenyan economy, as well as improve, international relationships, strengthen the relationship between the UK and Kenya. So it was about
32
billion pounds.
Yeah.
Exactly, and they're targeting it at projects that are already in line with the Kenyan growth, like manufacturing, construction, real estate. These are the sectors that really added to even their GDP growth last year and this year. So this investment is also very positive and in line with what the Kenyan government has in mind. So as I've mentioned already, with their growth, they are already meeting their targets, and the disbursements of the fund, so about 38 billion is going into construction of greenhouses. They're really trying to, improve on their environmental laws and practices as well. It would help with construction and real estate. And about 25 billion is going into manufacturing.
Million.
Sorry.
Million, yeah.
About 25 million, I beg your pardon,
is
going into manufacturing as well, which is good for the Kenyan economy. 18 million is going into, they're trying to sort of have like a digital customs service, right, which will definitely improve trade. Trade East Africa is in charge of that, and it will definitely improve trade not only between the UK and Kenya, but with the UK, with Kenya, and their international trade partners. We've also seen investments like Arkwright. They've decided to, Arkwright, a UK company, manufacturing car company, has also decided to increase their fleet of electric cars in Kenya. And, as I said, the deal will definitely strengthen their relationships and also improve, deals between the London Stock Exchange and the Nairobi Stock Exchange as a manufacturing company. I think they're called Mayflower.
Right.
Yeah.
It's in a dual listing,
exactly.
right?
So they're doing a dual listing of about $14 million in the London Stock Exchange and the Nairobi Stock Exchange. So we've already seen a transaction. We've seen Prudential Investments, they're an insurance and investment company, also trying to create have their own stake in the investment hub that Nairobi is trying to create. So we've started seeing traction, and it's only positive news. Definitely only positive news for the Kenyan economy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Very in-depth rundown there. Okay, so Nigeria, very quickly, equities. Have you seen the markets as far as here? I think we're down here in Nigeria now. What, 3-4% year to date? How do you see the equities market playing out?
Well, currently, what's really driving performance in the equities market is earnings releases. So positives, mostly more positive than negative surprises in earnings releases, especially in the oil and gas sector, which of course is no surprise due to the rising global oil prices. And the base of 2020 was also really not a very good year for oil and gas companies. So the improvements we've been seeing has been really commendable. This morning, Seplat also released their results. Their profit after tax increased over 20%. Their profit after tax doubled, so like 50%. And also on the back of the impairment, they had about 50 billion impairment charges last year, and there's no impairment charge this year, as well as global oil price increasing. We also saw Airtel Africa posted positive performance. UACN, although just like consumer goods sector, performance has kind of been mixed. Also largely due to purchasing power of disposable income, basically, of their end users, and ease of doing business. It's been really difficult. Logistics has also really been difficult for these consumer goods companies. But we still expect, the way the market players are on the domestic bourse, we still expect a lot of profit taking. We've been seeing profit taking this week on Tuesday and Wednesday, despite the fact that Monday started off on a positive note, up about 50 basis points. We expected the trend to persist, but we started seeing profit taking in Vitafoam, in banking stocks like Zenith, UBA, and Access from Tuesday, and that has filtered even into today's trading session. Also, Owando has been on full bid for the past couple of days. Ever since
they settled their SEC issue,
But I mean, this morning we've seen a lot of profit taking this morning. I mean, the market opened about 9% up in Owando, and just a few moments ago it was already down almost 5%. So it's volatile. It's definitely profit taking, which we'll still expect to trickle into tomorrow's trading session.
Fantastic stuff. Vwede Edah, analyst with Afrinvest Securities Limited. Thank you so much for taking us through the economy of Kenya and also their deal with the United Kingdom, MPC decision, and giving us an update on the Nigerian equity space. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.